Hey everyone, and welcome to the Flow Towel Salon. So, you've probably seen it all over your social media feeds, right? This pretty food phenomenon? Well, it's way more than just a nice-looking plate of food. It's a huge shift in how we think about dining. And to really get into it, we're going to be looking at the 2025 research report on the pretty food trend in the dining industry, which just came out from the Hongcan Industry Research Institute. It really breaks down what's going on.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to define pretty food, look at the psychology behind it, the whole emotional value thing, then talk about how it's become social currency. We'll also touch on why quality is a must-have, and finally, peek into what the future might hold.
All right, let's kick things off. First up, what exactly is pretty food? I mean, what are we actually talking about here? It's not just a cute name. It's a whole new style of dining. So the report defines it like this. It's this perfect mix of dishes that are, beautifully designed, taste amazing, and don't break the bank. But the key ingredient here, it's all built to be shared, not just with your friends at the table, but with everyone online. And this is where you can really see the difference. Look at this comparison to traditional fine dining. Fine dining is all about, rare ingredients, super complex techniques, maybe a bit stuffy, and it costs a fortune, right? Pretty food is totally different. It's for a younger, more social crowd. It's about the beautiful presentation, a great taste, and an experience you want to post about, all for a much more wallet-friendly price, like 100 to 150 RMB. Okay, so this gets us to the real engine behind this whole thing. It's not just about what's on the plate. It's about how it makes you feel. The report calls this emotional value. And check this out. This number is wild. A whopping 92.7% of young people say they actively look for emotional value when they buy things. This isn't some tiny niche, you guys. This is basically everyone.
And yeah, they are definitely putting their money where their mouth is. I mean, look at this jump. The number of young people willing to pay more for that good feeling went from 40% to over 56% in just 1 year. That is a huge, huge shift. We're literally talking about feelings becoming a major economic force.
So what are these feelings we're buying? Well, it's a bunch of things. It's feeling like a brand gets you, value resonance. It's about self-healing and comfort, treating yourself. It's that sense of ceremony, making an everyday meal feel special. And of course, just appreciating something that's beautiful and well-made. Pretty food is basically engineered to check all these boxes.
All right, next up, this whole emotional value thing gets a massive boost from social media, which is where pretty food just shines.
Yeah, the report calls this social currency. And it's a great term for it. Think about it. When you post a picture of a gorgeous meal, you're not just saying, "Look what I ate." You're sharing an experience, showing off your taste, and connecting with people. That post becomes a kind of currency in your social life.
And the data totally backs this up. For almost 30% of people, whether a place is photo-worthy is a major reason they choose to go there. Seriously, sometimes the vibe and the look of the place can be just as important as the food itself. The whole restaurant is part of the experience. But, and this is super important, it can't just be about looks. I mean, in a market this crowded, a pretty picture will only get you so far. Underneath it all, there has to be real quality.
And believe me, the market is tough. You can see here, the number of restaurants is actually going down, and people are spending less per meal on average. So in that kind of environment, you can't just be the cheapest. You have to be the best. You have to compete on quality.
So how do the smart, pretty food places win? They get obsessed with their ingredients. They're not shy about it either. They'll tell you all about their imported beef or their New Zealand dairy. That quality becomes a huge part of their brand story. And this is a perfect example of sourcing as a marketing superpower. The report points to Anchor Professional. They make a huge deal about their New Zealand grass-fed certification. For a restaurant, using an ingredient like that is an instant signal of quality. It's like a shortcut to trust for the customer. And when you have a top-notch ingredient like that, it's not just for one dish. It can make everything better, making soups and sauces richer, creating amazing flavors like a spicy cream pasta, or just making the most incredible desserts. It's like the secret weapon that elevates the entire menu. So, okay, we've got the emotional appeal, we've got the social media magic, and it's all built on a foundation of quality. So, what's next? Where is this whole pretty food thing headed? Well, it's not all sunshine and roses. The report is pretty upfront about the risks. As this trend gets more popular, you see more copycats popping up.
and some of them are focusing only on the pretty part and skimping on the quality. And, customers notice that, and they are not happy about it.
So let's wrap this up by boiling it all down. What are the big takeaways from the Hongcan Industry Research Institute's report? There are 3 really important things to remember. First, emotional value isn't a nice-to-have anymore. It's a core reason people spend money. Pretty food proves that. Second, this trend is a masterclass in modern marketing. You design the experience to be shareable, and you turn your customers into your best marketers. It's genius. And finally, and this is maybe the most crucial point, looks aren't enough. In a super competitive market, lasting success absolutely has to be built on real, high-quality, traceable ingredients. That's the foundation for everything.
Which leaves us with one big question to think about, right? Is this pretty food trend a real, lasting revolution in how we eat? Or is it just a beautiful but maybe fleeting fad? I guess we'll be the ones to decide. Thanks for tuning in.